Welcome to the Sex, Money, and Real Estate Podcast, the show for real estate couples about how to close more deals in the bedroom. My name is Bill Jameson.
And I'm Nancy Jameson.
And each week we deep dive into juicy, intentional, sexy conversations, sharing with you what it takes to create balance in your intimate relationships and your real estate business. Thank you so much for being here. Shall we begin? Hey, baby.
Hello, handsome. How are you doing today?
I am doing well. I'm actually coming off, I guess what we're calling here in the ATL, the crud. Got a little bit of a cold going on, so I apologize if I sniffle or cough here or there, but I'm sure you won't mind. You're probably pretty used to it at this point.
I am used to it. Okay, awesome. But you're feeling better?
I am.
Okay, cool. Glad to hear it.
How are you being today?
I am doing well. Thank you. I'm being well. I'm feeling very, let's see. I'm feeling very flowy. And I appreciate that. Nice. Yes, it's time to record a podcast or two or three. How about that?
Cool. Yeah, we haven't recorded for a minute. And, the cruise was awesome and being on vacation was awesome. And it's great to be home. So time to get organized. Huh?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Time to revisit that old business plan that we started back in October.
Awesome. So in October, which is typically the month that we start our business planning for the next year,
yes,
we start putting our calendar together, and really what we're looking to do, we're in review, projecting what we had, in closings for the rest of the year and what we had already done.
Mm-hmm.
We started writing what we call is our 135, our GPS for the next year,
which stands for goals, priorities, and strategies. Our one goal, 3 priorities, and then 5 strategies underneath each one of those priorities.
So that each one supports the other like a pyramid.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Or a stool, I guess, if you need that visual too.
Oh, like a stool, 3 legs to a stool kind of thing? Oh, yeah, that's smart. Awesome. So we began that process earlier. And we were a little bit late putting our calendar together, but nonetheless, our overall calendar is together. It's our business planning calendar for the next year or so. And what we do is we prioritize, right? We start with some big rocks.
Yes, we do. We review from last year, and then we add. We need to pause. So when we review the wins from last year, actually, I thought maybe we could do our magic around the wins from last year as a result of working the plan. What do you think about that?
That's awesome. We do love to start each episode with a little bit of magic, how we've influenced ourselves, others, or life, and in an empowering way.
Nice.
And so let's start with a little bit of magic. What self magic do you have for ourselves for the?
Awesome. So the first thing that came to mind for self magic was the fact that we independently have a trainer that we work out with or play with. We call it play because it's not work. It's our adult playtime where we play each week with the trainer. And so this past year has definitely been the most consistent that we have had a trainer on a weekly basis. So I definitely think that contributes to our overall well-being and self-worth. So that's for sure some of my magic.
Absolutely. And then for others, as a family, we've had 4 domestic trips this year.
Yeah.
Which is pretty amazing.
Nuts.
I mean,
it's great.
Some car travel and stuff like that. And
big road trips.
Big road trips this year.
Super fun.
And then an international trip.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Obviously, that being the cruise, seeing 7 islands over 11 days. That was extraordinary.
And then life. What do you have down for life?
Let's see. So I wrote down 2 things. I wrote down the successful implementation of a new farming area. that's actually already resulting in us receiving real estate business. And so for the farm, it's a neighborhood of 300 houses that we put together in 2018. We put together a plan for 2019. How many times are we going to door knock? How many houses a week? How many postcards are we going to send? How many pop-bys are we going to leave, which is a little gift on the front door when whether we talk to them or we don't talk to them. How many events are we going to sponsor throughout the neighborhood and that type of thing. And then we set aside, we created a budget, and then we set aside the cash to consistently touch that neighborhood for a year. And we did it, like we rocked it. And so it's resulted in over $1.5 million worth of business already for 2019. And we have those things that us realtors call come list me phone calls, which are happening, which is just, hey, Bill and Nancy, I know that you guys work the neighborhood. We want you to come list our house. And so It's such a beautiful gift. And it's for sure a result of the consistency with the implementation of the farm. So that was definitely one huge goal that was executed as a result of having the calendar in place. And then the second thing is what we call client appreciation happenings. And so we have an event planner, and we put together 6 client appreciation events over the course of 2019. And we invited all of our A+, our A, our B clients that we met at open houses, vendors, just really, and then, friends and family and stuff.
And some really cool events too. Christmas last year we didn't do it this year, but Christmas last year, the cookie Christmas holiday cookie baking event was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Buying out the comedy club.
Yes, the Comedy Improv Club. That was fantastic.
That was a huge win.
Huge success.
And nothing like seeing every one of your clients and friends and a little bit of family walk out of a theater with smiles on their faces,
rolling
and giggling and rolling. The energy was so high. So that was definitely fantastic, and want to do that one again.
Yep.
Do you have any other highlights for you?
Yeah, we did the baseball game.
Baseball game was fun.
Where we watched the Cubs. We didn't watch the Braves. Sorry, Braves. But we did watch the Cubs.
Yes.
Lose. Sorry. And then we rented out a movie theater for Star Wars this past December, which is why we didn't do the cookie event, because Star Wars was coming out.
Yeah.
And we are huge Star Wars fans. If you know anything about us, we are total geeks.
Yeah. We're actually holding lightsabers right now.
Yes. Anyway, so yeah, that was a huge success. And again, a direct result of us planning in October of 2018 for the whole year, setting aside the budget, creating the budget, setting aside the budget, and then executing. So we were very, very excited. So those are magical for me. Did you have anything else that you wanted to add?
No, I just, the one thing I was thinking about as you said all this was, and we were putting all this into motion, was our word for last year, which was...
Connect. Yes, we did. We connected a lot. Which
kind of leads me into, us figuring out what the word is for this year.
Okay.
So,
do you want me to do a drum roll or something? Or you just like looking at my lips doing that.
Yeah, I kind of do, actually. The word for the year for Jameson and Company is momentum.
Ooh.
Dun, 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 dun. Momentum.
That's
so
awesome.
We'll put that word. I'm sure we'll make some bookmarks out of that word, and stick it on our laptops and a few places here and there where we can. I don't know if I'll go as far as getting a tattoo, but
golly.
I don't even know where I put that word.
All right. You're going a little
all right.
off script here.
All right. So with momentum.
Why did we choose momentum? Okay, I'll tell you. We chose momentum, because quite frankly, we operate 4 companies within Jameson and Company, right? So y'all know about the real estate business. You may or may not know about the coaching business. Bill and I are both coaches in and around real estate, and we coach other real estate couples to assist them in creating the same amount or even more success in their intimate relationship as they do in their real estate business. And then we have a profit share business where we coach other agents into our brokerage and coach them and share with them philosophy and training and all of that beautiful thing. And then now we have the podcast. So we have the 4 businesses. So we're definitely experiencing some momentum within Jamison Company, and it's very exciting. So, obviously that's one of the opportunities that we have for this year is to continue to rep the successful real estate business, coaching business, profit share, and then to grow the coaching business and to for sure grow and expand the podcast. Right. So,
and this is how we do it. Every year we start by looking at the big picture.
Yes, the big picture.
Stephen Covey has a principle about first things first.
Yes.
Which is what? Habit 3. Big rocks first, and then filling in with the other things around it.
Yes.
So organizing and executing around priorities
is really what the essence of that principle is organizing and executing around priorities. So, your priorities are going to be different than ours, yet the other thing that's interesting is that he talks about the challenge isn't necessarily to manage time, right? I mean, everybody talks about time management. How do you manage time? I got to manage my time better. It's like, no, it's not. The challenge isn't to manage time better. It's to manage yourself or myself or ourselves better and in a more effective way. And so what we do and how we do that is that we focus on preserving and enhancing relationships and accomplishing results, which again, if you know anything about me and Bill, that's the balance and the sustainability of being in production versus production capability. So it's we call that, or Stephen calls that PPC balance, right?
All about that golden goose.
Yes, and taking care of the golden goose, which produces the golden egg. So I'll say that again. That was a big one. So we focus on preserving and enhancing relationships, and accomplishing the results. Again, it's all about the balance. So, how do you do that? That's a lot.
Well, for the big overhead, the big view, looking down from 10,000 feet is to start with looking at our year, beginning with the end in mind.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
Every October we jump on our good friend Amazon and order our big wall calendar. It's laminated.
Yep.
And it shows off all 12 months.
Yep. So we'll have the year before, right? Because it's October. So we'll still have the year before up, and then we'll order next year also.
So, and we have some priorities about what we fill in on that calendar first, and then we fill in around it, the big rocks, right? So some people may fill in, some agents may fill in, the business events and things like that first, but we do it a little bit different. We fill in our vacations first and our birthdays first.
Yep. We fill in the kids' day off from school, so we have an idea of when they're going to be off because we know that our schedule is going to fluctuate, or at least, get ahead of the curve a little bit, including all of their school breaks. And, we definitely write in our anniversary too, right?
Yeah, 20 years, we better have our calendar. Well, we probably don't actually have to have it, but, if it's
on the calendar, it's important.
Right. Well, yeah, and if it's not on your calendar,
it doesn't exist. Awesome. Yeah. So we do our personal stuff first, all of our personal stuff first. And that because we believe that the personal fuels the business. It starts in the personal and then it personal flows into the business aspect of it. So at that point, once those things are on and all of those things are in one color on the calendar, and then the client events and special occasions, when do we send out postcards? When do we do Popeyes? When do we do our phone calls? When do we, all the things for our folk. We really do love on our people. So that goes in a different color on the calendar, but we block it out. So, I'm looking at our calendar right now, and in green, that's our business. Our business is green.
Green for money, baby.
Yep. And so we have all of our client appreciation events already scheduled out for the year. And, green means go. So that's what.
That's funny. That's it. Yes.
That's what we're doing. Cool. So, and then we schedule everything, guys. So that's the big picture, right? So those are the big rocks. And then on our Google Calendar, then we get down to like the nitty gritty, like all the minutia.
Yeah,
like,
right. Because all that stuff is also on our Google calendars. It's just, we're visual people. And to see, again, the high view and be able to see where everything is at one time, at least for me, is super helpful.
Yes. Absolutely.
But that stuff does go into our Google Calendar too, and then the more of the little rocks go in around that on the Google Calendar. So, I mean, everything we do is scheduled out down to grocery shopping.
Yeah, and who's driving the kids to school?
Yep.
Yep, we have a schedule for that. And the grocery shopping, and when do we go to the Y for Rex's karate, and when does
Lucas go to chef school,
right.
and all that stuff. So what do you think our percentage is of following our schedule?
Oh gosh. Nothing like being put on the spot.
Well, we hadn't talked about that, but I mean, I think our schedule is a huge part of our lives and what we do.
It's a huge part of our lives. Gosh, I mean, it's definitely, let me think about that for a second. I mean, it's definitely, I'm going to say it's like 70, 80%. I think that's probably, because obviously life happens and kids get sick or we get sick or whatever. Clients, the closings change and that kind of stuff. So,
yeah, I would say, I bet you we're probably right in that 80% area. And I don't think it was always that way either.
No.
I mean, it's taken a few years for us to get to the point where we surrendered really to following the schedule. Because otherwise, am I prospecting today or am I not prospecting today? Or am I going to go to the grocery store 3 times this week? Or, is date night going to happen or is it not going to happen?
Oh, yes.
All that stuff.
Absolutely.
So I am inspired by us and following the schedule so highly. And it's part, following the schedule is what gives us the time, that gift of time to do all the stuff that we want to do. Because if you're not following the schedule, then, or some kind of schedule, you're constantly filling in the gaps yourself, and you're running around.
Yeah, and if you relate that concept back to principle versus being emotionally centered, if you're utilizing the principle of first things first, and you have the big rocks down, and that they're taken care of, then you're receiving inspiration and motivation and energy from accomplishing those things, and you're in quadrant 2, what he calls important but not urgent. They're important and urgent. It's
Who's
not
he?
like Stephen Covey.
Oh, sorry. It's like, ooh, he.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So you have a extremely high sense of accomplishment, and that generates momentum when you hit your schedule goals.
Yes.
So it's amazing. Time expands really when you utilize schedule and time blocking and all of those things. And then on the front of accountability, for accountability, our wall calendar is on the wall for everybody to see. So it's very present. It's there in the office. Everybody sees it. Everybody asks, what is that? Because we'll add things throughout the year, like our door knocking. Door knocking happens every Wednesday from 9 to 11:30, and we put our closings on the calendar, and those are a different color little Post-it notes. So it creates a lot of conversation for other agents in the office, for our coaching agents when they're in our office coaching with us, and then clearly creates accountability for us.
Yeah.
And then on our Google calendars, we share our schedule. So you and I see each other's schedule, and again, it's accountability. So it's just more. That piece is more transparency than accountability. Yeah. Because you and I aren't necessarily accountability partners per se, but it's definitely transparency.
Yeah, and it's the glue that helps hold this whole thing together, this whole ship together, and all of our businesses and processes, and to make sure that everybody's getting taken care of the way that they need to get taken care of.
Yeah, I mean, we operate at a very high level. So
awesome. So that's really a big view of how we plan our year. And if you do have any questions, well, actually, I should ask first, Nance, do you have anything else you want to add to this conversation today?
No, I think it's a great one. I think it's a great one. It's definitely a question that I get asked a lot is, how do you, it looks like how do you have the time to do it all? Like that's really the essence of what we get asked all the time.
Yep.
And that's it. It's the planning of it. It's taking the time.
Well, the other thing is to add about that is it's the glue that actually helps hold you and I together too. Because we know, that we have each other's backs when we're following the schedule because, you're not going to pick up the kids the same time I'm going to pick up the kids or whatever it is. We know what our defined roles are within our businesses and the things that are associated to be done with those, and it's on the calendar, and we're never, hardly ever, doubling up on each other, and because that could lead to frustration or
breakdowns.
Bum, bum, bum. For sure.
Yeah.
So
no, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good. I'm complete.
Awesome.
I appreciate it.
Well, live from Hollywood,
otherwise known as Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
It's the next Hollywood, right?
The next Hollywood. Yes, we are. We are feeling complete with this podcast. So we bid you a amazing day.
Yes. Obviously, if you have any questions, feel free to connect with us at connect@jamesonandcompany.com or on Insta at sex.money.realestate. And DM us. We'd love to talk with you. And I bid you farewell. Remember, it's a great life.
It's a beautiful day. Ciao for now.
Bye.
Wow, what a show. Thank you so much for listening. And if you're inspired, we ask that you share the podcast with one person and subscribe and follow the show. I'm Bill Jameson.
And I'm Nancy Jameson.
And remember, it's
a great life.